I think we do it a little bit different. And not to say that we're right. I don't think there's a right and a wrong way. But when we started in 2018, we didn't sit down and say, okay, what must the Springbok culture be like? We started working with the players because we, from the understanding that a culture is something that would come out, So you can write down that you want a refusal to be defeated as one of your eccentric. Or when people look at your team, it must be one of the characteristics that they pick up in your play is that, listen, this team doesn't, they refuse to be defeated. If they 24-3 down against England the first test at Ellis Park, they will not go and lie down. You can write it down and it's nice to have it, but it's not necessarily that it would manifest because you don't know if you have those type of players. You don't know if the team is that type of team. You don't know. But it's nice to have it in words. But so we do it probably differently. So as we work with a team, you see, to be 24-3 down, trying a new defense system, getting skinned on the edge, having 2 first test capper wings, yes, and a refusal to be defeated was something that this team just had from the start. So yes, later on you can say, listen, one of our, if you join this team, if you don't have that characteristic in you, you're probably not going to fit into this group because this group has got it. It's so maybe it's the other way around. Normally in other teams that I've been part of, guys will start and have a brainstorm and get somebody in, and they will write down, okay, we're going to have trust and we're going to have energy and we're going to refuse to lie down. But it's nice words, but it's not necessarily that it will manifest in a team. And once you start working with a team and you give it time to evolve on its own, you will probably be able to pull out certain aspects that you can see visually. Listen, this team has got it. It's not something that's a pie in the sky. They have got it. So then you guys know that we have this. We are going to live up to this because that's one of our cultures. So I would say we didn't go down and sit down and say, listen, let's discuss what type of culture we will have. For instance, I think the culture that we had was there wasn't the rules, and normally when you sit into a team, they would be, okay, the fine system of this team is that if you're late for a meeting, there's 1,000 rand that you have to pay. If you have the wrong clothes on, you do that. Most teams have that. We had none of that. There was nothing. If you were late for a meeting and you say, sorry, I was late, I overslept, understandable. We wanted to treat the players as adults. So, but if you come late 3 times, 4 times, then maybe the Springbok environment, it's not that important to you. Because if it was important to you, you would have been on time. So I think we probably went from it from a different perspective where we said, listen, we're all adults here. There's not going to be a fine system. If you're late, you're late. And if you say sorry, it's sorry. But if it happens regularly, maybe it's not that important to you. So I think that from the onset, that was something that was different that Rassie brought in. And yeah, I think the main thing is we wanted to treat the players as adults. And I must say the other thing that the Springboks, we had a big family. We opened to families in the World Cup. The wives, and it's not, again, I'm stressing, it's not the right or the wrong way. There is no right or wrong way. It's just the way we did things, and it worked for this particular group. So we've got a few older players in our team who's got families, who's got kids. So from the onset, we never said the wives can travel with us when we travel and do the rugby championship. There's nothing that say, listen, the wives can't travel with. We would love them to travel with. You can get your kids to travel with. So in the World Cup, we had our families there, and they are allowed within the team. They are allowed to eat breakfast with the players, and it was the nicest thing when you walk into the dining section that there's kids running around and they're laughing, and it's just normal. It was just a normal environment. Where other teams, they didn't get the wives traveled with, and the wives weren't allowed to stay in the same hotel room or the same hotels as where the players and the team stayed. So they had to stay in different hotel rooms. And I'm stressing it again. There's no right or wrong way. It's just the other way that other teams operated, and it was successful for them. But I mean, that was probably what I found different in our team and the previous teams that I was part of, is that it was all inclusive. Families, there was kids on the bus driving back from wherever we could get families involved. We got them involved, or Rassie got them involved. We want to make it as family friendly as possible.